4 of 7 killed in Iowa tornadoes were from the same family. And that's one of the iconic drone photos that you'll see. 2 kids, a father, a grandma, died in rural Winterset, Iowa. 4 of the 7 people killed in devastating storms that tore through central Iowa were members of the same family who were huddled together in the pantry of a home that was raised by a powerful tornado, authorities said. 2 children, their father, and their grandmother all died Saturday when a tornado hit the grandparents' home near rural Winterset that didn't have a basement. Family members said the children's mother, 8-year-old brother, grandfather, and uncle survived the storm, but they were injured. Okay, I'm going to continue with this article, Doc, but I want you to jump in here right away. This home did not have a basement. I mean, there are other ways to keep yourself safe other than having a basement. But I mean, do you still recommend that as a weather observer? Or, when I was a kid, we used to have what they call Frady holes. We used to have those storm cellars outdoors. They were inexpensive to make. They weren't nice to be in, but you didn't go into them unless you absolutely had to, such as a storm like this. I mean, are those types of things still recommended?
Right. Basically, how safe you're going to be in any of the places we tell you to go in your home is related to how intense the tornado is. If you get a tornado like this that was EF4 or 5, you almost have to have a basement, or even better, a tornado shelter, or like you said, a Frady hole, to really ensure that you'll stay safe. If this had only been an EF1 or EF2 tornado, being in an interior room like the pantry or the bathroom probably would have been enough to protect you. So when you hear those guidelines, they really should be stated kind of in an order. If you want to be a little safe, get into a pantry or a bathroom. If you want to be more safe, if you have a basement, get into that. And if you want to be as safe as possible, go into a specifically designed tornado shelter, or, like you said, a Frady hole. So it just was unfortunate that this was such an intense tornado.
Now, there were a couple of things that they used to tell us back in the day, which have kind of been disproven. One of them was you could tell whether or not a tornado was nearby by turning on your television. This was when it was broadcast and the screen would turn white and all that. It was just a bunch of baloney. They finally came out and said you do a much better service to yourself by finding shelter than fiddling around with your television when a tornado is approaching. But the other part they used to talk about was even in the basement, but if you couldn't get to the basement, go to a certain corner of the home. But that's not necessarily absolutely true in all circumstances because of the storms themselves, right?
Right. It used to be that they told you to go into the southwest corner. The idea is tornadoes move from southwest to northeast. So you would be hit first in that corner, and all of the debris from your home would be getting blown away. Since it's really the debris that is flying around or falling that kills people in tornadoes. But I think after looking more closely, they realize that since the winds in a tornado are spinning around, really you're just as likely that everything that was to your northeast in your house is going to go around backwards and fly into the southwest corner. So pretty much what they replaced that with is, don't just go into your basement, but get under something sturdy in your basement to protect you from all the things that are likely to fall into your basement. And I know with some of the damage near Winterset, people have been posting pictures that lots of very heavy objects fell into basements, and so you could have even been in your basement and still risked severe injury or death if something like your refrigerator falls into the basement, or cars.
Mm.
Cars are often blown and end up in basements.
And in this instance, in Winterset also, I think a life might have been saved by a couple getting into a bathtub. That's not a horrible idea, getting into a bathtub in a bathroom in a small enclosed space like that.
Right. So yeah, if you have no basement, the safest place would be a bathroom, especially if it's in the interior of your house, and to get into the bathtub. But George, I think in that story, what I had read is one person was saved, but I think their husband laid on top of
Yes,
them to protect them, and he was killed.
yes.
So, if you're in the bathroom, you're going to end up riding along, flying through the air in the bathtub. And some people survive that, but you could be unlucky as well, and it won't protect you very well.